Shh, don't you know we're filming? Come on. What's up, socials? Welcome back to my channel. I am here in London, England at the Youpreneur Summit with Carrie Green from the Female Entrepreneur Association, also author of She Means Business. Thanks for hanging out today.
Oh, it's so fun. I'm so glad.
We just got done watching you speak. What was the name of your talk?
It was conditioning yourself for success.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I just was hanging on your every word, and you probably talk faster than me, and it's very impressive.
I talk so quickly.
I was like, oh my gosh. You talked a lot about visualization. Can you just go into that before we take some questions? I want to hear a little bit more about that. How do you visualize success on a regular basis? I know you said that that's a part of your everyday, but what does that look like today? Because it's looked like a lot of things. We heard some stories while you were on stage about what that has looked like in the past. But when you think about waking up tomorrow morning and visualizing success, what is that going to look like?
I actually don't know about tomorrow morning, but this morning it was visualizing my talk going well and visualizing a standing ovation.
Which she got, that was so good. You're like, by the way, I totally visualized that you guys were going to stand.
And I literally did make a video to everyone last night just to prove that I actually was doing that, just to say I have been visualizing it. Yeah, I think it's just having fun. Like, it's not taking it too seriously, not thinking that what you are visualizing, like if, for example, like in a month's time you decide you don't want that thing, it's not like keeping on going doing it just because you feel like you have to because you visualized it now. Like, you can change, but it's just about really getting focused about what it is, and the more you start thinking about what you want and what you're going to visualize about, it's like a muscle. You get better and better at doing it. And I have a little, I call it a dream jar, where I just like put my dreams on little pieces of paper, fold them up, put them in there, so that every day I could just go to the dream jar and like take out a piece of paper and look at what it says and just spend like a minute visualizing it, because often people are like, I don't know what to visualize, and I close my eyes and my brain goes all over the place. So if you just do it like that, it's kind of a fun way to just ease your way into
yourself,
it.
Make it easier. Oh my gosh, that is something I would actually want to do. I think that's awesome. Okay, so we're gonna take a couple of questions. I went to my Facebook group and Twitter to see what you guys wanted to know, and let's dig into it.
What kind of personal development do you do?
So I bloody love personal development. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for that. And personal development for me is just about like expanding your mind constantly and just learning more about how you can be the person that you need to be or want to be to create the success in your life. So it looks to me like reading books, listening to people who inspire me. So I personally really enjoy Tony Robbins just because he gets me fired up. And
we have been to a Tony Robbins event, and he does that at the very minimum. It's absolutely incredible.
It's life-changing though. A really good friend of mine, Michelle Raw, used to be working at her mum's cafe, and she'd be dreaming about the life she wanted to live. And she'd listen to the podcast and Tony Robbins all day long. And she said, you can't feel down when you've got Tony Robbins playing in your ears. And that is exactly the point. Like, when you listen to stuff that's inspirational, it's really hard to feel crap.
It's true.
So, yeah, so just...
You really are setting yourself up for success there, huh?
So listening to things, it could be like having an inspirational video playlist on YouTube. It could be even having an inspirational music playlist, because music is so powerful. Like, on the way over here, I was listening to the theme tune from Rocky because it made me feel like empowered.
Oh, that is dope.
It's true.
I love that.
It's just, you know, to fire yourself up. It's like to get the feelings going within you that you want to feel to create the life that you want to create and the things you want to create. So
I think that what's really interesting about this is you can decide to do it anyway. So lots of people say like, I don't like to read, or oh, I guess I could listen to something that would be easy. I think ultimately, no matter what it is, you're deciding to surround yourself with only the people that are going to lift you up, whether they actually know who you are or not. It could be actually people around you, or it could be people in your ear, or it could be people in a book. And I just love that. I love that continuing theme in what you talk about.
Yeah, it's everything to me.
What is your #1 song on your inspiration soundtrack?
My #1 song on my inspiration playlist, it changes often, and I'm just going to embarrass myself right now, because one of the ones that really gets me going, don't laugh, it's from Hercules, it's The Journey. It's like, hang not going to sing it.
Can you hum it? Can you hum it?
It's like, I will find my way. I can't sing. But it's like really empowering because it's like crazy journey and it's like the crazy entrepreneurial journey. And it's like, you've got all these challenges, but you're going to get there and you're going to do it. And yeah, that's really sad.
That is awesome. Well, I guess if I had to pick one, I think it would be Dark Horse by Katy Perry. That's just been my, I just feel like, yeah, I'm a dark horse. I don't know why. It's just like one of those, you just pick one on accident, I feel like sometimes. And you're like, that works. I need to get in the mood
Yours
right
is
now.
a lot cooler than mine.
No, I don't know about that.
No, really.
What is your #1 highlight so far in London?
Wait, you're from Manchester, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how often do you get down to London?
When I'm over here, maybe once a month.
Yeah. And what do you usually come down here for?
Just meetings and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Do you ever fit in afternoon tea in London? That's been our obsession since we got here.
I mean, I do love tea. I'm a bit tea obsessed. I guess I go to like a lot of coffee shops and stuff and drink tea, which is very nice. Yeah. Do you know what? I actually just weirdly like being on the tube because it just feels like London and it smells funny and I just love the smell and it just feels like this hustle and bustle of cool, like this vibe of
You're like, I'm
gross
definitely
smelly
in London
people.
if I'm on the tube. There you go.
It's weird, but it just makes me feel at home in some way.
You know, I've recently become completely obsessed with this series on Netflix, The Crown.
Oh yeah.
And so I had a lovely time at Westminster Abbey just observing the coronation chair.
Oh, I bet.
And I wanted to take a picture of it so bad, but you're not allowed.
Oh.
But that's been my highlight on this trip so far.
Yeah, so many amazing, beautiful buildings in London, though.
Yeah.
I do love
it's
it.
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
How do you find your authentic voice when creating videos? What are the most important things to focus on when you're just starting out?
So I'm excited by this one because I noticed you do have a YouTube channel and it seems like you've had so much success with Facebook. How did you end up deciding to start using YouTube? And then to that question, where do you come up with your ideas for content?
So in 2012, I decided to do video because someone was like, "You need to do video." And I was like, "Okay, I will do video." That
person was very smart.
Yeah. I'm so grateful because it's just changed everything. When people can see and hear you, the relationship is just on another level. So yeah, I just started to do the video, and I was absolutely horrendous at the beginning, like so awkward, so stiff. It was terrible. I didn't publish the video, and then I just practice and realized that actually on camera you need to like up the enthusiasm. So you still need to be yourself, but you need to be a little bit more enthusiastic, otherwise you're like a moody cow.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very true.
So yeah, I think it's just practice. I don't know, just being yourself. Like I think some people are afraid to really be true to themselves because I worry that people are going to not think they're professional enough or going to judge them. But I think it's like we want real connections with people, and I think that's what's important, and that's what creates a strong, authentic community is when you're real and let people see you like warts and all.
With the Female Entrepreneur Association, I love that you talked about in your speech just now how you sort of built it because you felt like you were lonely in entrepreneurship, specifically as a woman. And so do you feel like a lot of the conversations that you're having help spur some content ideas, no matter where they are, YouTube or otherwise, because you notice that people are having these problems and you want to be able to help them and say, this has been my experience? Is that where a lot of the content inspiration is coming from?
Yeah, a lot of the content ideas are from like things that I've experienced, or like, for example, say one week something happens, a conversation comes up that maybe is a hard conversation to have, then I'll use that in a video because I know that other people have likely had that same experience. So I think that, and also just listening to your audience and seeing like what are they saying, what are they asking when you post out on social media, what are their comments relating to that, and like how could you use those in a piece of content in the future. And
it's so fun when you can read between the lines because you're like, oh, this is a difficult conversation, either people are talking about it and they're afraid to, or how can we shine a light on this? And actually it's a great idea for a thought leadership perspective of that.
Definitely.
So I noticed that, I don't know if it's in the UK, but definitely in the US, on Amazon, when someone is buying Vlog Like a Boss, which is my book, they're also buying She Means Business. So that's why I was like, Carrie's speaking at this event. I have to talk to her about this book. What is She Means Business all about? Why does somebody need that book?
Also, it's so cool because I see your book popping up all the time as well.
Okay,
it's really good.
That's exciting.
It's just about like the entrepreneurial journey and like how it's crazy and the ups and downs. And so often we have these ideas, but we're playing small with it. We're so afraid to actually put ourselves out there because it's vulnerable. And it's just a true perspective. It's just the true journey.
Yeah.
This is the experience I've had, and I share stories of other people, and then the things that I've done to help me to get to where I am now.
Love it.
So.
Love it. So that conversation of vulnerability, which is so, so big, and I've noticed that I kind of wish I would have even added more about that in my book, because specifically in the UK, I feel like there are people, you're making video, but it's very few and far between the number of people in the UK that are like really diving into video the way they are in the States.
Yeah.
And I do find it has a lot more to do with the vulnerability conversation than it does like the camera conversation.
Yeah.
So I love that. So you're going to need both books, because hers will touch on that a lot more, and mine will go into vlogging like a boss. But definitely pick up She Means Business on Amazon or wherever you can buy books. And thank you so much for joining, Carrie. I appreciate it.
I loved it. Thanks.
That's all for today's socials. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Make sure you subscribe for good vibes, and remember to keep visualizing the world that you want so you can go after the life that you want. Cheers.